Welcome back to This Week in Jump, number 17, part 3. Continuing, number 6, Boruto, chapter 35, which will be the last chapter that we'll be reviewing because it's going to be in V-Jump on the next chapter.
Yeah. We'll still read it on our own time, but it won't be gone over in This Week in Jump.
If we ever got enough time, we could review Boruto and Dragon Ball Super, because those are both in V-Jump, and just be like, that'd be like the one-shot thing. It's monthly, it's not that much, but maybe not. It just depends on how long those series keep going. Oh, Boruto. So, picking up from before, since it's been a month since anybody's read Boruto, we remember that Kurama was having a conversation with Kawaki.
Essentially telling him, oh, don't walk too far away. Like, I'm supposed to keep an eye on you.
And they wind up talking about how...
Naruto's backstory.
Yeah, I was going to say how...
I was like...
Naruto's swing is there again. It's the MVP.
They reference it as the joke. Like, he didn't even like the swings that much. It's like, oh, I lost it when they referenced it.
It was the MVP. It was almost every episode.
Yeah, it's going over his backstory. I was like, oh no, they're really doing this. But from Kurama's side, we see him growing. From Kurama's side of things, we see his side of things. Like, I wasn't there to help him. Like, I was a hindrance to his life.
Well, I killed his mom. I killed his dad.
People hated him just because I was
inside of him. Yeah. It was not a good time to be Naruto.
What? I did nothing to help him.
Until later on, when he was able to actually control, and they worked together.
Yeah.
But that was much, much later on, after he got friends and learned a friendship. And that would be the Naruto that most people think of when they think of Naruto, is the whole friendship Naruto.
Yeah, and Kurama changes from, rampaging beast to something that can have a conversation with someone.
I'd say, like, tempered ally.
Yeah.
Like, piss him off, he'll kill you. But otherwise, he's pretty cool and chill with you. And then he says that he probably sees a lot of similarities with you inside of himself.
Yeah. Like, I know you haven't closed yourself off completely.
Apparently that's a translation thing where Kawaki means, like, dry or something like that.
Oh. That's pretty funny.
So that's, like, a whole, like, thing that goes over on the translation. But Kawaki actually does cry for that.
He has the same feelings as the pot, because they're crying on the same side, they're leaking from the same side.
But the pot was leaking before.
I know, but it's funny.
And Naruto actually is still training Kawaki in how to use ninjutsu and stuff like that. So
he's naturally gifted.
Of course he is. Of course. Because Naruto's like, oh, it's so hard for me to climb trees. Yeah. Actually making the comment and the joke.
Like, stop. Essentially, kind of like Sasuke. Stop giving me these low-level assignments. Give me the good stuff already.
Well, that's what Naruto would say, and then he wouldn't be able to complete it.
Yeah.
He would say, I don't want to do these D rank and C rank missions.
Like, give me an A rank.
Alright, you got an escort mission that was supposed to be super low, but probably should have been for a Jonin.
Yeah.
We also have a couple of the other characters who haven't really been around recently. Sarada, and you also have basically everybody saying that Kawaki is a potential threat. Because he could, for whatever reason, turn and go against them. But Sasuke has been on a secret mission this whole time, according to Sai. And that secret mission was apparently going to a space-time that you can only get to with space-time jutsu.
Kind of like a demi-plane of sorts. We've seen this
Obito's ability.
We've seen Boruto actually go to this realm when Naruto was fighting the other, like, the guy with one horn, the big muscly dude, and then he is the only one where time kind of stops. That Boruto is the only one that can see this other figure. It's like those eyes are going to be essentially like the death of you, or like will only bring ruin. I think that was kind of like one of those areas.
Yeah.
So this is one
This
of
is
those that has an actual structure to them.
And Sasuke is investing everything that's around there, and he notices that there's the symbols that are in pairs. But this is the guy you're referring to, correct?
Yes.
The one from before, the Otsutsuki.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a projection, though. And then he also sees the person that's paired with that, and then he pulls up Kagura.
Yeah. Well, like, why is she here? And he starts dropping a bead of sweat, just because if he has to deal with that himself, like he'd rather not try.
Well, he's also determined that since they're in pairs, that means that since Kagura created the Byujin, the Ten Tails, then there potentially would be another being that could create another Ten Tails, or another Ten Tails already exists. And he touches the other pad, and then we have a new figure appear, and also has the same garb with like the Sage of Six Paths.
Yeah, we have no idea who he is.
But his design's pretty cool. And he looks down at the platform below and sees
a bijou.
And it has the Renegon.
Yeah, he doesn't know how many tails it has because it's impaled, it's kind of in place.
And it's trapped.
Yeah.
And I believe that was the image I used here, is that he was like, oh, it's a bijou. We cut back to everybody having a conversation about what the mark of karma is, and hey, Boruto, does that still hurt? Apparently it doesn't, and it's kind of inactive.
And since it's karma is just a
Diamond
square or
pattern.
diamond, like, doesn't your mom have something like this? Like, yeah, Sakura does have that, but it's a regenerating jutsu.
Yeah, it's the same one that Lady Tsunade had.
Yeah, where you use a small bit of your chakra and store it in there.
And eventually use it
Yeah.
to unleash great power.
Yeah. And also,
High-speed regeneration.
it also uses up what you currently have as well, because it releases all the valves to let your body essentially just have so much power, but if you don't stop it, it will just continue to leak out and you'll kill yourself that way. So like, maybe I should ask my mom a little bit more about that.
Naruto, of course, just says, that's probably not what it's probably not related to that. Karma's probably different.
Yeah, but
I always forget that kid's name.
Orochimaru's son, or clone.
Mitsuki points out that since the mark goes back, the jutsu, the regeneration jutsu goes so far back, that it could be related. They just need to do more research on it and see if it actually is or not.
Like, the Kagebushin jutsu comes from the second, right? The second Hokage?
Yes.
Yeah, like, that's going back a couple generations. And you can't say that jutsu is the same that Naruto has. Like,
No.
jutsu can change over time. So,
With Rasen Shuriken.
Yeah.
But Kawaki has no interest in it. He's going to go handle the business with, I guess, fixing the pod or whatever. And he's gonna let them go ahead and investigate it. And this is when Boruto decides to view Kawaki just as a bro.
Yeah.
We're good. We're bros. We'll go ahead and defeat Jigen and do all this.
Yeah, and we'll do our training with the Hokage together. It's like,
And I'm gonna be the ninja that's trained by Sasuke.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be the ninja that's trained by Naruto.
it's nice that they're getting this relationship.
Yes.
It's not as rivalry as it is with Naruto and Sasuke, which I like, but there needs to be some waves. And I think the enemy is strong enough in Boruto that they don't need the rivalry between Naruto and Sasuke. They can do this themselves.
We cut back to Sasuke. And then a portal opens, and none other than Jigen walks through it. And then he goes down to the Byujin and says that I need more of your power. And he starts absorbing it and starts turning into the figure that we saw before, after Sasuke messed with it and saw.
His karma is activating, and he takes on this form for a second, and then releases it so that, I guess, kind of like the regeneration jutsu, is storing it for later.
He says that he needs it so that way he can go pay the vessels a visit. And obviously that's referring to Boruto and Kawaki.
Yeah.
But I guess he doesn't notice Sasuke this entire time. But this does mean that there is another
Yeah, like you
another
said,
Kagura level enemy out there. Which could actually be stronger than her, I guess. They might not be even. One might be more powerful than the other.
Sometimes one big enemy is much easier to take down than a few not as strong enemies just working together.
Well, it's like there've been those fights in like everything where a good strategy, you can beat a stronger opponent. And then we see Mitsuki and Boruto running through the woods. And that's when he says, I'm going to be a ninja, and I'm not going to let karma
be a hindrance.
Basically. Yeah. That's the close of it in the main line of Jump, and this is going to be in Jump V. I like the setting up of, like, oh crap, there was more to do with, like, there was a parallel to Kaguya. That makes it kind of cooler. I think Madara still was the better villain to have ended the series, but at least this gives her relevance.
She wasn't just a throwaway. She wasn't just
just
we need a big bad to throw into the story. I hope
it makes her more interesting.
Absolutely.
Giving relevance to a character I feel like almost everybody unanimously did not like as a villain, as the big bad at the end of Naruto. I think we can all agree that Madara was better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I still love when he gets shot down by Kakashi. Like, yes, come and fight me. Like, I'm not here for you.
I still like Guy fighting him.
That's so great. The last.
It was great.
The last bit of Naruto, how it was just fantastic.
Oh my god. Need to stop gushing about Naruto. Next, number 5, Act Age, Chapter 68. Recap of the end, where Riku's like, you're going to make me forget about Kuriyama. Meanwhile, in the other room, with Kuriyama, they're having almost like a campfire sleepover type reading of their script.
Campfire, you can say kind of like a seance.
Yeah.
Like, it's very ritualistic in that sense.
And he's like, alright, show me what you can do. And the first two that come up are Chiyoko and Araya. I was gonna say Arisa, but
small flashback to where they're eating beef bowls with each other.
That's on screen.
Yeah,
that's what I chose as the image.
So like,
because remember the conversation, they're gonna go.
It's so weird seeing them eat together.
Well, they said they were gonna go eat after the meeting.
Yeah, but where Kay was going to have steak, they're just having beef bowls.
Looks like a casual diner.
Yeah. It doesn't look like they're dating. It doesn't look like they're a couple. It looks like they are just two people that happen to be sitting next to each other and eating.
Correct.
That's the kind of dynamic that these two were giving me. Rather than, some of the other characters you see at this place, you can see a guy leaning in with another girl kind of leaning in. That's most likely a couple. You see
a business meeting
going on. You see two other people at the bar that are just having,
Oh, this one?
Yes, those two.
Oh, okay.
Those looks like they're a little bit too close. So they're most likely like coworkers of some sort. You can kind of gauge what they are. But these two, I don't see that chemistry going on. They do feel
Like
out of
separate.
their element.
But apparently Chiyoko was raised to emulate the acting of Okami, Riku. And so Araya assumes like, well, then you're just a fake. How are you going to hold up to the original?
Yeah.
What do you plan to do?
If all you do is just copy, 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 you'll never be as good as the original. There's some things you can't copy.
And then they talk about... I didn't know this was a scene in that tale, but apparently the Monkey King transforms into a tiny bug and enters the Lady Iron Fan's belly, and then forces her to give up her fan to like get out.
Yeah, or else he's going to wreak havoc inside of her.
Correct.
Like small little cuts from the inside, torturing her for almost maybe an eternity.
And she's like, "Here, give me this egg," and Chiyoko just swallows the egg.
Yeah. It could still be like a pickled egg, or maybe an egg that you break over your meal so that the heat from your bowl cooks it enough. Like you can have that in a lot of soups. My father's quite keen on doing that for his meals as well. Strange to see this for her.
Well, because now we cut back to away from the flashback, back to the present, and she's on the floor, and it looks like she's just like not well at all. She's sweating, she's drool, and they're like, "What is wrong with her? It's not like she's acting. It looks like she's really not well." And then you have like a brief cut of the egg, I guess, coming out of her mouth. And they're like, that's method acting. Chiyoko's using method acting.
Yeah, like a previous experience that she's forcing upon herself so that she can bring that in and use that whenever she needs to.
Yep. Good way to incorporate it. Yeah. And Kuriyama's like, huh, that's right. Geniuses aren't the only ones that can use that type of acting. And we also have the brief... When Kuriyama was asked to do this, Arisa told him directly, I'm entrusting Chiyoko with you. And he has to ask her, I don't intend to interfere with the person's acting. Are you sure you want to do this? And she's like, basically anything to win.
Yeah, it's like, ooh. She is trying her best. And for someone who's such a genius,
naturally gifted,
like, I'm going to try my best to win this. Like, she has no disrespect for who she's up against. Because she's been trying to emulate Riku, so like she wants to prove to herself and everyone else she's not just a copy. She is better.
I was gonna say, just as good, if not better. Next is number 4, Black Clover, Chapter 2.
I didn't get what I wanted, but I'm still happy. We start off with some side characters.
I was gonna say, I remembered vaguely. I was like, aren't they somewhere in here? Okay,
the previous leader of the Purple Orcas,
Geldry and Revichi was like, I think, the translation. They're alive, but their magic is getting sucked up because they're still like surrounded by the leech type things. Yami and Charla are okay. Charla actually healed Yami's arm. He says he could probably use one-dimensional blade. He's like, everything's probably up to Asta and seeing if he can do something.
He can probably feel his ki from up here. It's not just
pouring out of Asta's blade.
He's not just, I think he's going to do it. No, he probably senses his ki. Like, ki is crazy, and you can tell other people apart just from their ki. So, yeah, so as Asta's welling up with his energy, so much so that he's not in control.
Nope. Blade starts going to attack and actually breaks the pitchfork.
Yeah, the devil is not ready for that. He's like, I'm just gonna block this like I did before.
Nope.
Oh no, this is stronger. I need to get rid of his right away.
The spear not from this world. This is the image that's on the screen. Is this entire area where everything is turning into a nightmare, and now there's like mouths and like eel-like creatures coming out, in addition to the leechy worm maggot things. And Asta's still not able to control it, and is still basically attacking everything that's around him. The prince tries to get him to take him directly to the devil, gets knocked back
by Asta.
By Asta, who still can't control his powers.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sure he's thinking that. Just knock the prince away. First wizard king.
Yeah, just nonchalantly. I'm sorry. Patrick uses his attack, his demon light magic, I guess is like a variant of his normal attack. Was actually able to do something, because before he wasn't doing anything to these maggots.
Asta's still trying to gain control,
but
using his best.
And then taunts him.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you keep going at that pace, I'm just going to be the Wizard King. And we have this would be 4-page spread.
Yeah.
If they printed it that way, which would be fucking cool. You can cut that out.
It's also...
that would be really cool. So Yuno's created a Spirit of Zeref sword.
Zephyr.
Zeref. What's Zeref? Is that a thing?
Zeref is from Fairy Tail.
There you go. I was like, Zeref. Asta, not to be outdone, creates an anti-magic demon slayer sword, Black Divider.
I just thought Berserk.
It is the Dragon Slayer from Berserk.
Yeah, it's so
with
cool.
It
doesn't need all the flourishes, all the details. It just needs to know this is solid black on the outside. This is...
It looks like it has a lot
crazy.
of mass.
Yeah. It doesn't need hyper detail. It just needs to know this is the absolute essence of darkness.
Yeah. So when you put those 4 pages...
Spirit of Zephyr and Black Divider, like, ooh.
It looks cool.
Asta doesn't change himself like I thought he would.
You thought he was going to go with a full double wing,
two horns. No, he's strengthening still one side than the other, and it looks so good.
And I'm still okay with this.
Yeah.
I was like, dang.
I didn't get what I wanted, but I'm still happy for it.
Next is number 3, Demon Slayer, chapter 161.
Oh, yeah. There's a bunch of stuff that I just seeing him again. There's a bunch of stuff I don't understand. I need your help on this one so that I can understand, please.
Okay. So, okay, where do I start?
Well, the end.
The end of the chapter?
Yeah, but maybe you helping me here will make me understand. Because right now, remembering the end, I need some explanation from you, please. So we have the Upper Moon taunting them, trying to...
His usual monologue where he thinks everybody's worthless. We have them trying to fight back. Inosuke is taking point. Not able to do a whole lot other than basically stave off being frozen.
The Upper Moon's still trying to use his ice breath for the whole area. Inosuke's just using his swords as fans to blow it away.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's not that bad.
Kano goes in to try and attack him from behind while he's distracted. Attack Domo. But Doma isn't having it.
Yeah, so...
And he's like, I need to go.
Yeah.
Mordekazu's...
Yeah, there's a lot of futile attacks here. So...
He creates a Ice Child.
Yeah. A mini version of himself.
And it can use the same powers.
Yeah, so he can make his own minions that are just as strong as him.
They say slightly less, but I mean to like an average demon slayer. These aren't average demon slayers, but at the same time, they're not like... I mean, are they pillar rank? Are they considered pillars at this point?
I would still think so.
Okay, but since he's the second moon, he's incredibly powerful. So I would say that probably these miniatures are maybe on par with like the
Akaza,
number 4 or maybe even number 3 Akaza. They it's extremely strong. And so he's like, okay, I'm just going to leave it to you guys. And they keep fighting with it. And he's like, I'm going to leave. Maybe I should make more of these so that way it gets done faster.
So
and
he creates 1 or 2 more?
He creates 3 more.
3?
Yeah, because there's the one that they've been fighting this entire time. Eventually, Inosuke is getting more and more distracted, so he's getting damaged. Mm-hmm. And where's that panel?
Like, I thought he created 2. Like that's the second one.
It's right here.
Oh, there.
It's super tiny. So yeah, those 2 and then these 3.
Yeah, so he does make 3. It's just not seen. You see him make 2 that are fairly big on screen. He makes
the one above, and then he makes this one when he's at the door.
Yeah.
And then he was wondering about 5 more of these, and then he makes 3 more.
Yeah.
So then
a total of 5.
Unless that maybe the one he created at the door is still here, and then there's 2 more that he made, and maybe it's 4. Mm-hmm. But I counted it as 5 because it was 1, and then there's 3 there in front of him.
Yeah, so it could be a total of 5.
Yeah.
So he's just at the door getting ready to leave. These little puppets will
kill them. Exactly. That's his mentality. Then he touches the door, and then he starts to dissolve.
Yeah, one of his eyes just like pops out.
Yeah, because he's melting, and he's like, "What's going on?" And then you see Shinobu's face there.
Yeah, and he's so his body's deteriorating in such a way that he's just on the ground.
Yeah,
and he's sweating like in fear.
Yeah,
why
mortality? But why is he getting?
Why? Tell me. I'm so confused. No one did anything to him.
I believe she did it from inside.
Oh, because everyone's still living from on the inside. They're not dead. Is the way he was phrasing it, right?
Yes, that's the way he kept phrasing it. So it's either that or it was a delayed attack that she did initially. But I want to err on the side of it's an internal attack because he kept phrasing it as they're not dead. But we shall see.
That's crazy.
And I was like, yeah, I gotta put that pretty high because that was this scene is just so good.
One of the upper moons,
just
getting over in an overwhelmingly good position, is on his knees,
panicking,
and we don't know why. He doesn't know why.
That's good.
I hope we get the answer next week, because without that I'm still going to be confused and I'm going to think less of this chapter, but right now it's good.
Yeah, it might be in the next one. It might not be. It might be in the next one after that. I feel like it'd be in the next one logically.
Yeah. So what's your number 1?
You already know what number 1 is.
I know.
Number 2 is Chainsaw Man, chapter 25. Chainsaw Man is really, really all over the place. Mm-hmm. And I can't get enough of how crazy it is right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool. So, Aki didn't die because the suit prevented him from taking mortal damage.
Yeah, the suits are actually armor. Like, okay, that makes sense why they have somewhat of a uniform.
Power isn't going to be able to do anything because she couldn't even see the Swordman Devil move. Mm-hmm. So, the only thing that can be done is Himino decides, Ghost, are you going to attack that and help?
Yeah, she doesn't want to.
Ghost doesn't want to. And she's like, I'll give you my whole body.
Yeah, just because she knows her body is in no position to fight.
Nope.
And
she starts coughing up blood, so.
Yeah.
And then the face goes from a frown to a grin, and it's like, sure. This is a really interesting design.
Yeah. Flowers hands, and
a creepy face with its eyes and mouth sewn shut.
Yeah.
And really, long black hair.
Yeah. So, of course, it materializes itself so that because the blade or sword devil can actually see the hands coming.
Yeah, and react.
Because up to this point, you haven't been able to see anything of this ghost hand. Even Power couldn't see anything, and she's a fiend. Mm-hmm. And using a single attack, it cost her arm.
Yep, it just disappears.
Yeah.
And they pierce through it, and eventually the Swordman Devil has to ask for help from the girl who still isn't named at this point.
Yeah.
And
is losing another arm.
Mm-hmm. And she's just like, Aki, don't die because I want you to cry for me. And this girl apparently has snake.
Mm-hmm.
So
her eyes turn to that of a snake if she didn't have that before.
And says swallow it, and then like this, I believe that was the one that I put on the screen, is this one right here. It looks like a worm with the really twisted alligator mouth, more so than a snake. And then she calls it away, but it completely kills Ghost.
Yeah,
like Ghost is just the head at the point. Like all the arms, everything is gone, and Himino disappears.
I thought you were gonna say she's gone as well. Like, oh,
I'll use a different word.
So sad, because she's essentially sacrificed herself in vain. As of right now, we don't know.
But there was a ghost hand still, and it pulls a ripcord. And Power ran off, on the side note. Pulls Denji's ripcord, and he comes back as the Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
So he wasn't...
Blood is pouring out of his head and encapsulating him in his helmet. And he's ready to fight. He's ready to go toe-to-toe. You're not going to get a sneak attack on Denji without a fair fight. This is going to be his fair fight, hopefully, between Chainsaw and the Blades.
Chainsaw Man, Sword Man fight.
It looked so cool. But also, I'm very sad about Himino. Like, all the characters that we've been slowly introducing, like, they're
and developing,
going away. They've been
you're dead.
Killed.
You're cool. You got some characterization. All right, you're dead. There's only one series left. Obviously, it's Hunter x Hunter. No, that's still on hiatus right now. But that would also be included in this if they weren't. Number 1, One Piece, Chapter 945. This is apparently a poster
For a movie?
Yeah. Well, you can apparently if once the physical copy comes, it's gonna come out and it's a 2-page color mini poster for the Stampede. Got some more Orochi just saying that they're gonna go seize people, and we have the Oniwaban come in and actually start interfering in the fights as well. Zoro's still fighting against Kiyoshiro.
Yeah.
And then you have the handoff of Otoko to different people.
Yeah, just get her to safety, get her out of here. Like, she's one of the marks. Drake is fighting. Drake hates Soba Mask for some reason. He hates Sanji.
Soba Mask? And then...
I guess because he's...
a Vinsmoke.
A Vinsmoke. Because isn't he also from the North Blue?
Drake?
I think they referenced that in one of the previous chapters. But there's something that he just hates.
Animosity.
Yeah.
It would make sense.
Yeah.
I don't recall offhand.
Brooke is just literally scaring people away.
Well, he scares some of the Oniwaban away, so they're not actually targeting them anymore. It's because Hiyori is with him. So you have 2 targets. You have Toko and Hiyori that are the main ones that they're noticing. And Trafalgar Law comes back.
Ooh, yeah.
And he has to fight Hawkins. But
Hawkins...
Beppo isn't there.
Yeah, like...
Because he's like... Hawkins' idea was that they would keep him away because with Trafalgar's Devil Fruit, he could just easily whisk them away. But Hawkins cuts his arm and then winds up cutting one of his crewmates. And he's like, I have 4 lives in my possession right now, and you'll have to kill me. You'll have to strike them down to kill him. Basically every attack that he would do to Hawkins would wind up hurting his teammates.
So if Law is able to slice out Hawkins's heart, that would kill
somebody.
Maybe not Hawkins himself. So he has to find a way, or a portion of him, that is only of Hawkins and none of his other teammates, or find a way to immobilize him, knock him out of commission, find a way to deactivate his Devil Fruit power. Maybe some Sea Stone cuffs could come into play there and help out.
Maybe just a little.
Maybe just the Sea Stone cuffs that are literally everywhere, that they have like 3,000 of in.
Nah, they don't. Okay, they do. They have dozens of them
In the prisons.
Yeah.
In the multiple prisons that they have.
In the holding cells, in the prisons. And
Yeah.
Opens. So they're the only Waban is still targeting and trying to figure out like where Hiyori is, and they eventually find her. Zoro has to be the one to carry her out of there, much to Sanji's chagrin.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. His bounty's lower than mine. So you can assume that they're probably finally going to be getting away from there. At least the Straw Hats and everybody else. You also have Kinemon being given a very hard time by Ashura for setting fire, or causing the woods to be set on fire. Or did they do it? I keep getting that like twisted. They set the fire, right?
Yeah. They started the fire.
They didn't start the fire?
They did start the fire.
Okay. Kinemon for framing him for robberies. Explains that they were wrong. Inushar, yeah, they basically apologize, and they're like, Ashura tells them to come with him, and I guess they're going to show them something else that happened or has been happening.
Or maybe the causation of their
situation,
or the cause and effect of them leaving. Like, look at what you've done. Look, because you have
Y'all
left
been
without
gone.
saying anything. This is what people have had to deal with. This is how they've been surviving. Kind of like look at what you have left. But maybe it could also be, in a good way. Like, this is.
It's probably not going to be in a good way.
It's probably not going to be in a good way. This country's in shambles.
And then we get to my favorite part of the chapter, the excavation camp, and Big Mom just busts right in.
Yeah, the giant thud on the wall. Boom. Big Mom.
That's the image that's on the screen.
Yeah.
Is this one? It's just, I couldn't help but put that one in there. I was like, that is just everybody freaking out, jaws dropped.
Yeah. Imagine if Kaido just walked in. That's what happened.
Well, I mean, even Luffy's like, am I dreaming right now?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Hio's like, I have no idea who that is.
We escaped from her and we were supposed to come back here.
Nope. And she's still looking for that food, the Oshiraku. Which, apparently there is some there, which none of them knew going there. They just lied to her and said that it was going to be there. And Queen starts turning and is just like, no, this is just for me. Luffy tells Queen, hey, you need to get Kid and Killer out and stop drowning them.
Help them. They can't hold their breath that long. And we see Queen's Devil Fruit power, or Smile Fruit power. I'm not sure which one it is for him. But he is...
Brachiosaurus.
Yeah. A type of dragon fruit.
Even though it's a dinosaur, but...
Yeah.
I'm being nitpicky.
I think Drake's is also like a dragon fruit.
Yeah.
It's a T-Rex, and T-Rex man as well.
But Big Mom just jumps up and grabs him and slams his head into the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a one punch and done. I would assume it is, but if not, she's just gonna wail on him until she gets what she wants.
Yeah.
And just seeing how quickly he got put down was great.
Yeah. Like, it should have been Luffy to put him in his place, but Big Mom Amnesia Big Mom is such a curveball into all of their plans. Not just the Straw Hats, not just Orochi, not just Kaido. Everyone. Even Big Mom's pirates that are still looking for her.
Mhm.
It's such a curveball, and it's like, oh, we're just gonna. She's a Beetlejuice. Like everyone has their plan. The monster has their plan. Everyone has their path. In comes Beetlejuice music. Dun, 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 dun.
I thought you were going to take it a step further and say that she was basically a Devil Joe and just like, he is a Beetlejuice.
Yeah, well,
and then just picks up the Beetlejuice and just slams it on the ground. You know? Just Devil Joe. Just, claw.
It could be either one, but just the sudden appearance of her is much more like Beetlejuice because she stays.
For them, it's a sudden appearance,
Yeah.
but for us, we've been like, it's been looming.
Yeah.
It's like I think every other chapter for like a while, they were like, Big Mom's coming. Big Mom's coming.
Yeah.
She's going to get there eventually. I don't know if Chopper knew that Luffy was there.
I don't think so.
And it's just a coincidence.
Like, I know we need to get here for some reason.
I'll have to look into that a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Chopper needs to show himself a little more in the next chapter. I think it's we've seen a lot of Sanji, we've seen a lot of Zoro.
I was gonna say I think he's gonna be the one to release Luffy from his restraints.
Yeah, like, oh, do you know you could just do this and
yeah, like just one little push of a button or something, or he'll get the keys to unlock it or something like that.
Yeah,
but for all that crazy stuff that's going on in One Piece, I could not put it as one.
Yeah,
it'll be on break next week, so we'll see how good every other chapter is. But that is it.
Yeah. So just to recap a little, of what's going on in Jump. So we'll be losing Naruto. We have a couple new series with Tokyo Shinobi Squad, Beast Children, and even Samurai 8, The Tale of Hachimaru. A lot of stuff is going on with Shonen Jump. Something internally is going on that's allowing us to read and enjoy the full of Jump. So we're just trying to make sure other people can do so as well.
Right.
Jump losing or moving Boruto is going to shift a lot.
It's gonna free up space, I think, is what it's gonna do, because it's such an awkward serialization because it's monthly, and they could have just moved it to a monthly one. They could have moved it to Square. I guess they moved it to V Jump so that way you'd have Boruto and Dragon Ball Super in the same magazine, and maybe something ended over there, so they had space. But Food Wars will be ending next week. Will be the last chapter of that, and that means that they'll probably put another series in.
We're still waiting on the special chapter for Hell Warden Higuma.
That is supposed to come out
July,
I
believe.
Well, I don't know if that's July in like the issues, because like they put them out like almost like a month in advance.
Yeah.
But it might either be this month or next month. Actually, like actual July. So we'll see, but we'll probably review it anyway.
There's a lot going on, and we're going to do our best to keep you guys informed. But that'll wrap up This Week in Jump, number 17.